You want to know the real reason you haven't hit your goals yet? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you don't want it bad enough. It's because of something called the comfort ceiling. And almost nobody is talking about it. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is, why it's quietly killing your potential, and the specific framework that the top 1% of achievers use to break through it permanently. Stay with me, because the next 10 minutes could genuinely change the direction of your life. Asterisk. Here's a question I want you to sit with for a second. How many times have you told yourself this is the year I finally do it? Maybe it was the business you were going to launch, the weight you were going to lose, the promotion you were going to chase, the relationship you were going to fix. And then, nothing changed. Not because you didn't try. You did try. You downloaded the apps. You watched the motivation videos. You made the vision board. You started, maybe multiple times. But somewhere between the inspiration and the transformation, something stopped you. Asterisk I used to think that was a willpower problem. Then I thought it was a discipline problem. Then I read every self-help book I could get my hands on, and I realized it's neither. Here's what the research actually shows. A study out of Stanford found that 91% of people who set ambitious goals abandon them within the first 90 days, not because they ran out of desire, but because of a deeply wired psychological mechanism in the brain that treats growth itself as a threat. Let me say that again. Your brain is designed to sabotage your own potential, not because it's broken, but because it's doing exactly what it was built to do. Keep you safe, keep you comfortable, keep you alive. The problem is, the life you want to live, it lives on the other side of uncomfortable dot. And until you understand how to override this mechanism, you will keep hitting that invisible ceiling over and over again, wondering what's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you, but everything about your approach might be. Asterisk I call this the edge framework, and it's built on for things the top 1% of performers do differently than everyone else. Let's break it down. Asterisk everyone talks about staying motivated, but motivation is an emotion, and emotions are temporary. You don't need more motivation. You need more exposure. Here's what I mean when you repeatedly expose yourself to the environment, the people, and the information connected to your goal. Your brain starts to rewire through a process called neuroplasticity. The more you expose yourself to your desired identity, the more your default behaviors begin to align with it. This is why the most successful people in America aren't more motivated than you. They've simply engineered their environment to make success the path of least resistance. Practical move. Spend 30 minutes every single day consuming content, communities, or conversations that are 2 to 3 levels above where you currently are. Not comfort content, stretch content. Asterisk here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Most people treat discomfort as a signal to stop. High performers treat it as data, information telling them exactly where growth is available. Think about the last time you avoided a difficult conversation, or skipped the workout, or talked yourself out of sending that email. What was the feeling right before you backed down? Discomfort. Now think about this. Every single person you admire, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader, they feel that same discomfort. The difference is they've trained themselves to move toward it instead of away from it. Psychologist Dr. Carol Dweck calls this the growth mindset. But most people only understand it intellectually. They don't practice it behaviorally. Practical move every day. Identify one thing you're avoiding because it's uncomfortable. Do that thing first. Before email, before social media, before anything else. This single habit, practiced daily, will compound into radical life change within 60 days. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't have too few goals. They have too many. And when everything is a priority, nothing is. I call this goal noise. The constant mental chatter of all the things you should be doing that creates paralysis and keeps you spinning in place. The 1% don't have more goals. They have fewer goals with deeper commitment. They operate by what I call goal gravity. One central objective that pulls every decision, every hour, every resource in its orbit. The most successful founders and leaders famously ask themselves one question every morning for years. Am I working on the thing that will matter most in 10 years? If the answer is no, they restructure their day. Practical move. Write down every goal you currently have. Then ruthlessly eliminate until you have one primary goal for the next 90 days. Everything else goes on a parking lot list. You're not abandoning them, you're protecting your focus. This is the one most people skip, and it's arguably the most powerful. Your behavior is not the product of your character, it is the product of your context. Put a bowl of candy on your desk, and you will eat candy. Put a bottle of water there, and you will drink water. It's not about willpower. It's about what's closest, most visible, most accessible. The most successful Americans have figured out that engineering your environment is more effective than disciplining your mind. They put their gym bag by the door. They delete social media from their phone's home screen. They join masterminds and accountability groups where the default behavior of the room is excellence. You become who you're surrounded by. You become what your environment normalizes. Practical move. Do a full environment audit this week. What in your physical space, digital space, and social circle is making it harder to reach your potential? Eliminate or reduce 3 of those things before Sunday. Now. I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds great in theory, but I've tried stuff like this before, and it didn't stick. And I hear you. Here's the honest answer. Most strategies don't fail because the strategy is wrong. They fail because they're treated as events instead of systems. You did the thing once. It felt good. Life got busy. You stopped. The EDGE framework isn't a what-I'm intervention. It's a daily operating system. And like any operating system, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks of installation before it runs in the background automatically. The first 2 weeks are going to feel like effort. That's supposed to happen. That friction is your old ceiling breaking. Push through it. The data is clear. If you can maintain a new behavior for 21 to 30 days, the probability of it becoming automatic spikes dramatically. You're not looking for a magic moment. You're building a new default asterisk, all right? Let's land this plane. The 99% never reach their potential not because they lack talent, but because they never learned how to work with their brain instead of against it. The EDGE framework gives you that system. Exposure over motivation. Discomfort is data goal gravity over goal noise environment. Engineering over willpower battle. Start with one. Just one. Pick the one that felt most uncomfortable to hear, because that's the one you need most. Asterisk now. Here's what I want from you right now. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of the 4 parts of the EDGE framework do you struggle with most? Exposure, discomfort, focus, environment. I read every single comment, and I personally reply to as many as I can. Your answer might even shape my next video. If this hit different for you today, if something in here made you stop and think, hit that subscribe button. I put out videos every week designed to give you the tools that school never taught you about building a life you're actually proud of. And if you want to go even deeper on this topic, I've got a video right up here on how to build an environment that makes success inevitable. It pairs perfectly with what we covered today. I think you're going to love it. I'll see you in the next one.